the special meeting to order. Do I hear a motion to go into executive session for non-elected personnel for, interview?
So moved.
Moved by Justin,
Seconded.
second by Randy for a time period of,
Or I don't know,
12:30 or 20 minutes?
we'll try 20, let's come back in.
Okay, for 20 minutes. Sorry, was that part of your motion, Justin?
Yes.
To come out at 6:50?
Yes. We're out of executive session. Do you guys want to go, how do you want to go, wait to end the meeting to this one? Huh?
Yeah, we got 5 minutes.
I guess we'll go back into executive session for 5 minutes.
So moved.
We just, moved by Larry,
Second.
second by Randy. All in favor? Just like, more than one person up there.
You're
We're
out.
out of executive session. We'll go ahead and make a motion to close the special meeting.
So
Moved by Bud,
Second.
second by Larry, all in favor? And then, can we just keep these and then maybe discuss at the end of the meeting?
I think so.
Is that okay if we keep this?
Sound good?
Yep.
We're open for
Did
business.
you like my new shirt my mom got me?
Huh?
The new shirt my mom got. Go ahead and call the meeting to order. Has everybody had a chance to look at the minutes from the January 26th meeting? You would approve?
So moved.
Moved by David, second by Justin, all in favor? Consent agenda, we need permission for clerk to pay insurance at time of billing, permission for clerk to pay utilities at time of billing, permission for clerk to pay utility incentives before the 25th of the month, permission for clerk to pay theater bills when due, permission for clerk to pay payment service network bills when due, permission for clerk to pay attorney bills when due, permission for clerk to pay the following membership dues: Kansas Municipal Judges Association of $25, City Attorneys Association of $35, and Kansas Association for Court Management of $50.
So moved.
Moved by Larry,
Second.
second by Randy, all in favor. No sheriff, new business, Brock, is he coming?
He was supposed to be here.
Okay, we'll skip down to Bob then. You're up, Bob.
Yeah, I'm gonna just talk to you about, I'll tell, see what it takes to get a little talk in the corner of the ground down here.
If you don't have enough,
Oh,
I know what we're talking about, I'm sure for you.
I was gonna have you print off and have I showed you the street
No, no, no.
light, but then I forgot to.
I was gonna print it off too, Bob, and I've been busy and I didn't get a chance to.
This is
That's
just
yours.
New Worth pictures. That's all at the end of Quincy, dead end Quincy, where the drain goes through. There's two little triangles there that the drain splits. You can see what it takes to get a hold of that. You see them two little circles, the red one is, the small one is where the old lift station used to be, there's 3 holes there that I could walk into and fall into. And the other one is a pile of dirt and tree limbs that was being piled up out of the ditch. Would need to be cleaned up, but other than that, it's pretty good shape, but ground.
Basically.
And a good portion of the south of the triangle is street right away anyway.
Say that again, Bob, I'm sorry.
I said that, here, you want this? That, the southwest little portion there is,
So this triangle is basically.
a lot of that is street right away. But I know you're concerned with access to the drainage ditch, and that's, the drainage ditch itself is part of it, would be access, and you could use any of it
No, my storage units out in Quincy, Illinois.
Quincy,
It's that driveway.
oh, okay, all right.
That seems more strict.
So you're wanting the whole property?
Yeah, we don't wanna split it, take expensive survey and get it out of there. So I would take it all, as long as it's fairly cleaned up and,
Usually he's been mowing this, his building's here, he's been mowing this part and he wanted up to that ditch, but for that whole triangle is one legal, trying to come up with a legal description for that. And you don't need any access to that parcel?
and if you, like I say, if you did need to pile dirt on there and clean the ditch out, clean it up, that'd be fine too. I mean, you can use that parcel to,
Do you have any plans for it, or just?
just trailer store setting, just keep it cleaned up.
He already knows,
This part?
yeah, he's already
One of
mowing
the
up.
things that, and I'm sure you know this, but, when we did a gully washer, how many times have we cleaned that out? And tried to get that thing out, but when it comes,
I know what, I've been there for 40
I know,
years.
I know.
I know exactly
You're
what that is.
Preaching
down
to the
there.
choir
I just
there.
wanna make sure,
I know
okay,
exactly what that is
Yeah,
down
'cause
there.
he-
That's
yeah.
kinda the reason I like to see it cleaned out more. But I've had water up to my garage because of that, so. And then
We
a
don't
few,
need that
couple
at all.
years ago, that big hailstorm come through, I had hail
We don't
backed
need
up
that
to my
clean at all.
trailer house too.
Had to get back behind there,
I think we could drive down the ditch,
which would be
from
across
North
his.
Street down to the ditch, through the ditch.
Yeah, there,
Because there's a ditch that goes off of Wall Street straight through. We could drive
Oh.
through there and get back around there.
But we'd have to go on his property, right? If we needed it to.
well,
is it just a one ditch stand, or is it two?
the ditch, let me see it. This is the regular drainage ditch right here.
But I thought there was, I was.
This, right here's the ditch goes down here, this is just a tree line here,
Okay,
the fence
okay.
line. Ditch goes down here off of north, and then this is the actual
Okay.
tree line.
I'd like to at least look at it.
Okay, and I'll get a map that actually has like where the lines are at, cause there's, North Street is extended out.
On that picture, North Street comes in from the left. It ends right into that
Yeah, but
pile of dirt.
there's also a right of way, if I remember right, that goes through here, off of North Street. That right of way came through here.
Well, I know, let's see, no, yeah, it does, that's why I say this part here, most, a lot of that is right away.
Mm-hmm. But I don't know if that was ever vacated or if we would want to I mean,
And they'll be using the street till they tear the railroad out. And they're not gonna tear the railroad out.
yeah, yeah. No. Well, these guys wanted to take a look at it, so
Yeah.
we'll bring it up, we'll let them take a look and I'll get the map that shows kind of where the parcel and where that road right of way is, so they have an idea. And we'll discuss it at the next meeting if that's okay.
Okay.
But you're wanting to purchase it, right?
Well, whatever it takes to,
Okay,
but like I said, if I do, spots need to be cleaned up and that dead end, there's a pile of dirt right there at the dead end of North Street too. But then that's. So like I say, if I do get it, and you need to pile stuff on that little triangle there while you clean the ditch out, be fine, and just pick it back up.
okay, well, we'll take a look at it and we'll get back in touch with you, okay? Alrighty, thanks, Bob.
Thanks, Bob.
Thanks.
Trash waivers,
I will say Brock is not going to be able to make it.
okay,
I sent him a text and he said he won't be able to make it.
okay. We'll just cross it off
Okay.
there. Trash waivers, I think they're in the packet there.
Most of these just renewal for.
I think they all are, aren't they? Do we have any that,
Let's see. Yes, they are all renewals.
moved by Bud to approve the
Second.
trash waivers, second by David, all in favor? Okay. Building permits,
I've got one,
oh,
I just got it today, so you can have it in the packet. For mud, for a shed.
you have any problems with it? Should we charge double since he's a council member?
He can move, he can move
To the,
on it.
to the council snack fund, he has to pay double the fee.
Well, tell my wife, this is for her.
She has to
I'm
bring
sure you-
snacks next time.
And she said for the greenhouses, get one or put holes in the roof.
I'll move to approve it.
Moved by Larry, second by Randy, all in favor. Bud, are you abstaining?
I'm stating.
Okay. That's all, Dan.
That's all I have.
PBC update. You're on that, right, David?
Hmm?
You're on the
Aye.
PBC, do you have the update for us? Or
Yes.
Larry, Randy?
Go ahead.
You can go ahead if you want to. It looks like it's gonna pay off at, once we get the allocation in June, they're gonna try to pay it off. There's a 45-day notice period that we have to give, but they wanna get it done before September because interest rates go up. That's pretty much it. The pool should pay off at that point.
Everything goes to plan, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the end game is by October, November is having it disbanded.
Yeah.
No longer needed.
Yeah, because they did say something about there'd be some paperwork and that would have to be taken care of. We should be able to.
Which is a good problem.
Yeah. Anybody have any questions for them? Okay. Old business, small business incentive Caddyshack.
There was some discussion at the last meeting about whether or not to allow it or not, based on previous, they previously owned a business in town before they moved out to, the golf course.
They didn't own the
I think
business.
they own the building.
They didn't own
They
it.
didn't own the building, no.
Well, I thought about this. There was two facts that we found out last meeting. A, it was called a whole different business originally, correct?
Mm-hmm,
And B, they didn't own it at
correct.
the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I have no problem.
Yeah, that's me.
Is that a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Moved by David to approve it, second by Justin, all in favor? Okay. Lord, I just looked over and, I told you I'd move you up so you could go do taxes if you needed to. Do you still want me to move you up, or do you want me to go through property cleanup?
Are we gonna be here longer than 8
I don't, not the way we're going.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
great, then I can stay.
Okay, perfect, we'll go on to property cleanup then. Have we heard anything from the sheriff's department on the citations we sent over there? That's been last month ago?
I believe it was at last month's first meeting. Unless citation showed up after 4:15 this afternoon, because I left at 4:15. We have not seen citations on the properties you instructed us to send an email on.
Okay.
Do you-
Do you have anything on property cleanup?
I know, another one brought to my attention, 616 South Dennison, got a stovepipe on the back of their garage, tilted over, it's underneath, and it's turning everything black underneath.
Is that more of a city problem or a fire chief problem?
That's more the fire chief, they're bringing it to the city.
Sounds like a problem for the fire chief. I'd report it to him.
The problem is, it gets till there's flames,
What's that?
I guess it's not a fire chief problem till there's flames.
The corrective deed,
Oh, we were talking property cleanup, no,
well, but that was, it was originally a cleaned up property, right?
on 616 South Denison.
No, the corrective deed,
Oh, yeah,
because that was originally a property cleanup,
it was a condemnation. Yeah.
because it needed to be
Yeah.
cleaned up.
Yeah, no. I mean, if you want to bring that up now, or you want to bring it up under your report, I don't care.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can wait,
You would.
I don't care.
We'll just leave the two deeds for,
Okay,
yeah, let's,
okay,
they're happy together, we don't have.
oh, okay.
I guess anything else on property cleanup?
Mike can try to call him on that deal,
Let's see.
see if I can get ahold
Are
of
they,
him.
is that where they meant to put the fence? Cause I thought it was behind the house. Was it behind the house and then not,
I told him we couldn't pass the front of the
okay,
house.
but that's, I thought the fence they were putting up was in the back, but,
Well, that's what they said, but I told him, then they said, something about putting it up in the front, they said you can't put anything up in front. But as long as they don't pass the house coming forward, so I guess if they wanna put it over the driveway.
which is what they did. Did they go down the property line or just,
I think they're just replacing on the side, whatever is there, but I don't know if they got it done or not.
Is this the same property that from?
616 South Denison? That's what it's got.
Okay.
As far as property cleanup, I know, gosh, it's been a few months ago, had mentioned to Cody about trailers parked on the street and some vehicles. And I know some of the trailers I think have gotten moved, but I know there's still some that haven't gotten.
I see some semis on Emerson Street too.
Parked?
Yeah.
Becoming a habit of parking.
Um,
Don't know. Okay, well, I guess we'll have to reach out to Cody then and see what he's at on property cleanup. Projects pending. How you coming on a sound system, bud?
Well, I got one I'm been trying to get up here. I'm also carrying around the microwave for the airport in my back seat. I'm gonna get it real quick. I've got one I wanna try out and see how it's gonna work. I don't know.
Okay.
And it's in the box, and if I can get it in here, and get it set up and see what it does.
Okay. Anybody have anything else?
March 2nd, recodification meeting reminder.
Yes. And Bud, I will get your chapters back to you. I've been meaning to drop those off.
I'm sorry.
Your chapters, I'll get them back to you since we didn't get them discussed while you were gone.
Uh-huh.
I'll bring them back to you. They've been sitting there at my house, so I'll get them back to you, so in case you wanna read through them again before that meeting.
Okay,
What's that?
I was wondering where we were at on
It's all
that.
right. I read clear through.
We've
and
been
already forgot
kicking that can and kicking that can, so yeah.
What I read.
Mhm.
You're back, you get to discuss with us now, so I'll bring your notes back to you.
Okay.
Streets project,
Pick a time, pick a day.
I know, I was gonna see if this afternoon worked, and I've just been busy. No,
Thursday afternoon?
we don't have Washington Street, do we?
That's 19th.
Okay, and I haven't gotten anything out on that, so we might have to push that back. Thursday? Dan, does that work for you?
No, I'll be gone Thursday.
Okay,
I'll be gone Wednesday.
okay, and I'm gone next week, so maybe the following week. Well, let's see, I might, like, we can talk. Visitor, Sherry, how are ya? Good. Theater report, David?
Okay, we met, it was a lot of fun first meeting. And, we did, there was a lot of discussion, and what I've told our fellows at the church is sometimes when we meet and we do a lot of talking, we feel like we've accomplished something and we really didn't do anything. And that's, was unfortunately kind of how the meeting went for me. There was a lot of talking, a lot of discussion, but not a whole lot of traction or movement or anything. One of the things that they've asked me to do is come back and there was 3 things they wanted me to clarify with the council. Number one, and I don't know why they were asking these questions, Pat never really gave an explanation as to why, but he said, is there a likely reason that a 6th member could not be added to the theater board, seeing as we haven't had interest from community members? And being my first meeting, I'm like, I have no idea, I'll have to go and ask. And so, second, we wish the council will give us guidance and clarification on whether we can begin to set up a format to sell advertising at the theater. And third, ordinance number 607, Article 5, Theater 12-503 lists the theater board membership. By this ordinance, it would appear that either the assistant city clerk or treasurer should also be taking an active part, yet we have not seen them at the meetings. Please advise why this is so. And limited discussion I've had with the mayor is I've suggested that she comes to the next 2 meetings, and she's been kind enough to oblige in that and say, yes, she'll come to the next 2 meetings. I think that'd go a long way to kind of, eliminate miscommunication as much as we can anyway. So,
As far as the, as far as somebody from the city going, Lila used to always go, and Leanne used to always go, and then when Leanne left, nobody's been going. Lila's been filling in a temporary position, so she's not fulfilling all of those full clerk duties, and so that's kind of been just since Leanne left, so it's not, it's been a while because we've been without a city clerk, but we have had a city person from the office there, and we will make sure to get somebody there.
And they do get the financials every month. We make sure to do that, so.
Yeah.
and you all have the minutes, and I'm not crazy how the minutes were done, but, I don't know if that's something that I had even talked to Pat about or not, but it's having done minutes for now 35 years in church minute board member, meetings, it could just be done a little more concise and more professional, in my opinion, without all the I feel and we feel and emotions involved.
And maybe pointing back to Robert's rules and what has to be
Sure.
recorded, and, you want description of the discussion had, but really the main purpose of the minutes is to record the motions made, so maybe a little guidance there, we can, between you and I, can maybe get them steered in the right.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Just, they're losing about $1,000 a month, and, I have talked to, 6 businesses already who said that they would advertise at $150 a month to just have a digital picture of their business logo, picture of them, the owners, and the service times if they're open, if it's a restaurant, or the address and number for if it's a local business like True Value or whatever.
On screen or
Yeah, it'll show for like 10 seconds, fade out, go to the next one, and it just shows for like 5 minutes before the preview starts showing. And I mean, there's a lot of communities who do it now. Some of those are privately owned. However, I think as long as we do the same stipulation and guidelines we do with the sign on the highway, nothing political, no religious, just local business, just supporting our local businesses. There's absolutely no reason why they should be starting out in the red every month. They could start out in the black very easily if they just picked this up and did it. And so,
At least
that's my opinion anyway.
cut into some of that red to where it's not so
Yeah.
far.
Correct.
Did you have, cause you guys looked into it with the auditors, correct?
Yeah, they didn't see any issues with it.
No problem with it?
My only concern is the bookkeeping side of it, who's gonna maintain payments coming in, who's gonna invoice, who's gonna update, which David answered the question is, the business themselves would have to provide it in a format that could be uploaded. So that responsibility would be on the business. My concern is the paperwork side of who's billing, who's receiving it in, figuring out the bookkeeping side of it.
And if they were questionable as far as being able to do it themselves, Three House Printing could do it for them. They could put a digital something together for them on a even a thumb drive would work where it's sanitized and you could make it work. And so I don't know if you could do it where it's billed annually, just one payment annually, or two payments, biannually. I don't know how you'd wanna make it work, or if you just did it monthly, I don't know.
Sounds like a good idea, and I think it would also be, although, some things, people have specials throughout the year, and they may wanna throw that in there,
Oh, absolutely.
and things would need to be changeable.
And I haven't even talked to you about it, cause I just assumed you would want to, but I'm not counting you in it, but I'm just a thought.
He put you down for a double ad already, when
Yeah.
you signed up, 2 years
I
committed.
just assumed Majestic would wanna be on there, but, so anyway.
So we'd have to find out if it's gonna be run through the city or through the theater.
Well, that's, I think, some things that we would have to obviously work out as far as
Yeah.
how that would be handled. I think it's doable, it's just a matter of,
Yeah, I think you can work out the kinks fairly within the first 2 or 3 months, you have them worked out.
Definitely help promote the theater too.
And I think someone, I can't remember now who said it, but if I'm gonna spend money in a paper, or if I'm spending money having a digital advertisement of the theater, quite frankly, I'm probably gonna try to do both. And then it's also a way of saying, hey, I'm supporting our local theater as well. They can view it that way, and also have their business advertised, so. It's just yet another, sure, advertising, you can't do enough advertising. I mean, I have a website, we have bulletins, we make announcements, and I still have people ask me what we're doing at church. You just can't do enough
what time is
advertising.
your service?
Yeah, I know. So, and when I asked Robert if he would do it, Robert Martinez would cash it, his exact words was, hell yeah. So, I think it'd be a win-win for everybody. The movie theater could actually start out in black instead of the red.
Oh, it's
At
only
least they're
$1,000.
closer to the black.
But they're-
Yeah, at least yeah.
Roughly,
Roughly.
yeah, it was 13,000 something last year.
Yeah.
So roughly 1,000, a little over 1,000, yeah. And a lot of, depends on the kind of movies you get in, the
Correct.
weather, sometimes affects the attendance, sporting events, things, there's always,
Well, our thing is that nowadays, you can get it on TV before you go to the theater.
Right.
Sometimes.
And that's $12,000-$14,000 a year we're not having to spend anymore. That's it. We're making that difference right now, so.
Can we talk about the website a little bit?
oh, yeah.
Okay. I think in your packets, you've got a little bit of stuff about the website. Some stuff has, a little bit has changed. Do you guys have this in your packet? Okay. So if you've read that, I'm gonna read you something that pertains to that. Hold on. Okay, so as you can see, they could host, our website on one of their servers for $500 a year. It says here the first year would be fully waived, or they could migrate it to our server. As you know, Elevation Design does the city website. They currently host it on one of their servers. We pay a fee every year. They did get the website done. The quote they gave us was $1,200. The bill ended up being $1,250. I'm sorry, I just got this text literally before the meeting started, and I need to read it to you. Okay, so I'm just gonna read you the whole text. Elevation Design Company was happy to participate in another project that serves our community and its people. We were honored to support the Cheyenne Theater and chose to write off 50% of our standard cost in order to offer the city a discounted price of $12.50 for the theater website. The website has been fully built and is currently hosted on our server space. Hosting is a service we typically charge $500 per year. We are willing to donate the first year of hosting at no cost. If the city chooses to continue hosting the site with Elevation Design Company, hosting would be $350 per year thereafter and would require a 5-year hosting agreement. Given recent changes, we need to ensure that our business decisions align with the stable and respectful working relationships moving forward. With that in mind, the website may remain hosted with Elevation Design Company under the terms outlined above, or it may be transferred to another hosting provider. If the city elects to move the site, we ask that transfer be completed by March 1st to avoid hosting fees. Please let us know how you would like to proceed. So on this page, it talked about $500 a year. So according to that, it looks like if we commit for 5 years, was that the deal? Is that what I was reading it.
Yeah.
They would do it for $350. So,
Does that change the city's website? If they're changing their policies, is that gonna change the way the cities?
I don't
Or
know.
That's just the,
None of that has, this literally came right before the meeting.
Standalone.
Does them hosting it, what does that give us? Does that give us them updating it weekly?
No, now, the updating and stuff, Jessica is gonna have to learn how to do. And I think there was supposed to be some training provided with that. That was my understanding when they,
That's in the email.
it is in the email, right? Yeah, so, no, hosting, it just means they're gonna have it on their server. We aren't gonna have to put it on our server.
And who owns the domain name?
The city should, they got a hold of the domain name for us. I do need to talk to Lacey about
But you're
that.
looking at another $300-400 every 2 to 3 years for the domain name too.
Yeah, but that's just a standard thing, I think. So, Lacey and I have not even discussed the domain name. You know, this all happened fairly quickly.
Right.
So, I guess the biggest question tonight would be if we want them to just to continue hosting it on their server.
but if we do, we'd have to sign on for a 5-year.
Sounds like it.
You said they could move it to our server, we have a server?
We do, but I don't know what kind of space this takes. I'm not even prepared to answer those questions. And like I said, I just got this before the meeting.
It takes minimal space, so.
And our server right now is old. We're in the process of trying to get a new updated server, so I don't even know if our server would hold, you know what I'm saying?
Just our church website, we just paid $380 for a year for hosting, from Wix. So the price, if we did a 5-year contract, $350 a year, the price is not bad. I just wanna know what we're getting for that.
Hosting,
Just hosting.
I believe so.
Well, and the
I was
other
gonna say
thing,
through Wix, that would give you
we really don't wanna host that on
your
the city server
website.
because
No,
that would be a
I
public
put the domain
site,
name
so the
separate.
public is gonna have access and
Really?
you're gonna have to open up ports and we
Yeah.
really don't wanna do that.
That's a good point.
I was going to advise against putting it on anything in our office.
On
Yeah.
our server.
Well, that's
I
what I
mean-
don't know what other options option, you know, if we wanna look into other options, if we wanna see what all that entails.
The pricing's in line with pretty much anyone you're gonna go with.
I think we just go with that for 5 years.
Is that a motion?
That's what,
I second it.
Second by Randy, all in favor? Okay, motion passed.
question with the first part, is there any reason you can't have more than one members? Is there bylaws in the theater board?
There's an ordinance which sets what the
And the current
there's an ordinance which
system
sets
would
what the
have-
board is, and if there is gonna be discussion on this, the time for that would be on March second when we're doing the recodification. So if you wanna discuss the board, let's talk about it on March second, because I don't think we need to be amending a section of the code one
Correct.
meeting before we meet to amend the whole entire code.
My concern with changing it is then you have an even number, and if you would have a tie, then who would be the tiebreaker?
Well, I
That's why you have an
remember
odd number.
We had more than 6 people on that board. And I know I
I'd
didn't
say
have to go
five
through
is a,
No,
five
they
is a,
have council approval to be on that board either, so I know that, cause I just showed up for meetings.
no, it was approved by the council,
I don't know.
yeah.
And I think,
It has to be approved by the
my
council.
conversation with you is not that there for a while, about a year ago, they would have to stop getting enough people who would show up.
Yeah,
You
that's my
start
other
making it
concern
more,
is
you know
certain,
what I mean?
cause if you wanna increase it, you should increase it to 7, so you have an odd number, and then you start getting into, that's too many people, too many opinions.
Right.
5 has been proven it's the most effective board. Two less and two more, you know, too many, it's been proven, and plus, like I said, then you get an even number, and if you have a tie, you don't have a tie.
Well, I think originally it wasn't really about breaking numbers, it was just about helping out.
Right.
So,
Well, it's been a city ordinance for as long as I've known. I mean, that's the way it's been. You might not have known that you were appointed by the city council, but you were appointed by city council and you served on it. So I would agree that there's a time and place to discuss amending the ordinance if we.
And that would be on March second.
Anything else on the city?
We're not
Yes.
doing that tonight.
The next gen discussion.
Oh, next gen, did they come up with the next gen discussion?
In December, so David would not have been
Okay.
there.
You guys remember the issues that we had with the next gen last year? They discussed it in December.
Uh-huh. I can read, do you want me to read the excerpt of the minutes?
Yeah, why don't you?
So from the December 8th meeting, theater board meeting, there was discussion about the next gen program and whether that was something to pursue this coming year. No decision was reached.
And do you have the previous from when we had the issues back in?
Back in, on June 2nd of 2025, when we realized we had some issues with the Next Gen program and just some misunderstanding what happened. So back on June 2nd of 2025, their minutes state, after discussion, the theater board decided not to participate in the internship program next year.
Oh, so that happened in December?
That was.
Yeah, the meeting before you went, yeah.
That didn't even come up then?
Yes.
Okay.
And I guess, I don't know what the council's decision is on, cause I thought we had discussed whether or not we would even participate at all. in
With the
next-
theater board?
With any, I mean, if the city would participate, I mean, cause the pool did, and the theater, we had the issues, and so they ended up not.
well, that's because we have no employees,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
but I don't think I have a problem with not using it.
Just as long as it's used correctly.
Right.
Okay, does that answer? I mean, I guess you can bring that up to the theater.
One last thing before we move off of this. The grant they're working towards to try to do the remodeling, I proposed an idea to them, and Robert said he thinks it would work best as well. Instead of them trying to go and get one ginormous grant to do all the work at once, I proposed maybe we take after what 202 and the bowling alley have done and do smaller grants and do work in phases. And do phase 1, get this work done, get another grant, do phase two, get that work done, and it builds momentum, and it's not so much of a monstrosity all at one time to try to get it. Also trying to get bids for all of it at one time is just almost impossible to get all the contractors together, so, what do y'all think about that?
Only problem I saw there was, so many of the things they start on here, and they've gotta be able to work over here, so it all ties together.
But if they do phase one of the concession area, phase two, the bathrooms, phase three, the auditorium, they could phase it, and I think that actually looks better on grant applications. I think they like to see progressive
And it builds
applications.
momentum.
Yeah. You see something done, and so then it gets people incentivized to help to donate to
Well, they've
get
been,
the next one
they've been
done.
advertising to sell hot dogs now for 2 years, and they can't sell hot dogs because of that concession stand back there needs to be, they need to have a commercial sink, a 3-phase sink, and anyone who owns a restaurant knows what I'm talking about. Washing, sanitizing, and rinsing.
I thought they got them.
No,
Well, if I'd have known that, I've had 2 or 3, we could have one, I'll find one.
okay. So, yeah, I think you're right, I think if you did a concession phase one, cause, I mean, I don't know how many people are losing out, I mean, how much money they're losing out of this. What's a hot dog, $3-4 bucks? You know, but, you know, there's money that's losing out, they're advertising it right there, so, cause they did voice the problem of trying to get someone to come and give them one big bid for everything, and I can see why, but I think if you broke it down in smaller phases, it would be doable.
And I think it'd be easier to get grant funding when you're
And I didn't think of that,
$25,000 project than a $250,000 project
Correct.
if you're putting into smaller.
Well, we don't have the contractors here that are big enough to handle a one-time project.
Yeah.
Right, no, you're right.
And I know when Robert Grace was on there, you know, him and I visited last spring or early summer about the frustrations of finding somebody that, you know, contractor that could go in and give a good bid, cause there's so many unknowns in an old building like
Right.
that. So maybe chunking it off, you'd kinda get an idea.
Right.
Yeah. No, I think it's a good idea. Anybody else have anything for the theater?
Well, it'd just be nice to have someone to oversee the whole thing, to make sure everything, this phase is gonna go well, the next phase, you know.
Yeah. And I don't know if they can, I know 202 hired I think it was an architect, maybe the building ID too, to give us an end picture of what it will look like when it's all done.
Right.
I don't know if they've got the funds or the resources to be able to do that, so I don't know,
There might be grant funding to
to
do
actually do
a
that.
planning, you know,
Yeah.
step of it, so.
What did you guys decide on the next gen thing? Do we need to make a motion? Do they,
I don't,
to allow it? Do they just need to come back if they wanna do it?
I think just come back if they want to,
If
right?
it's done properly, I mean, I don't think we have an issue with
As
it.
long as it's done correctly, the council doesn't have a problem. Is it preliminary? Yeah,
I,
you know,
I'll get a check.
okay. Is there a motion to accept and file the theater report?
Move.
Moved by Justin,
Second.
second by Larry, all in favor? Dan, do you mind if we skip to Lauren, that way if she
That's
needs to
fine.
get out of here?
There's 2 deeds. One is a corrective, one is a new one. And I need 5 minutes of executive session for the subject matter of attorney-client privilege, advice of legal counsel. The corrective quitclaim deed, it explains what we took out they needed to build a building. It left in all of the purchasing it, demolishing it, filling in a basement if any, first right of refusal for the city in the event they sell it within 10 years. And then there's always that clause about the property, the city has 180 days to remove any property, but that's not at issue, but it's always on the deeds. Since the purpose of the deed was to just remove the building requirement, that's all that was removed from the deed. And then the explanation for the corrective deed is paragraph above the signature line.
Does anybody have any problems with that? The one thing I noticed on them, they look confusing, cause like the date is bolded and then the city's not bolded, and then the grantee is bolded, so it's confusing, that doesn't look like you're.
And day of is not bolded.
No. Like, the 9th of February, quick links to Benjamin Small, and I'm like, there's no, there's the city.
Yes, I can modify that. If the
Okay.
council wants to approve that deed, or the deed with that modification, it'll say the 10th of February, and then I'll just bring my notary stamp around to you and Jen tomorrow
Okay,
and notarize it.
and then on the
Then.
one of the Empire property, it's got that same language as demolishing and removing a building and not including the basement, and there's no such terms on that one to demolish or remove anything.
Gotcha.
Just an empty lot.
So what, they had a proposal,
Mm-mm.
correct?
just-
It was not
just-
subject to,
no, it
there was no terms.
Mm-mm.
Just turn over.
Okay,
There's no terms.
I will remove that entire, so is it still subject to right of first refusal for the city? Cause every
We
deed,
never
We
discussed
never discussed that.
okay.
Did we discuss that on the small property when we deeded that over?
It has always been when the city sells, every deed that has been since the deeds I have from Mike Day all the way through every deed I've had, has always been if they sell it within 10 years, the city has a first right of refusal to purchase it back.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know that that's codified
Yes.
anywhere, but every,
I don't think we need to. I don't think I want to, yeah.
Well, I mean, we can put it in there, it doesn't mean,
Yeah.
if
Doesn't
they
mean we
sell
have
it,
to have it.
yeah, doesn't mean
I
that
mean,
we're
you,
gonna buy it
it's
back.
not that you have to buy it back, it's that you have the first option.
Yeah, you can, I don't think that's a
No
problem,
harm.
leaving that in there,
No
yeah.
harm.
I
Okay,
just don't, the
okay, yeah,
language
I'll-
of removing a basement in a building when there's nothing but a vacant lot, that we really need that language in there.
Okay.
So, are you guys good with that, and same with this one? the
Yeah,
same.
I'll,
Perfect,
so, can we get a motion to approve those as
amended.
amended, and then I will bring my notary stamp around to you and Jen tomorrow to notarize that.
So moved.
Moved by David,
I'll second.
second by Bud, all in favor? And then you want.
I need 5
minutes?
minutes of executive
We'll go ahead
session.
and do that real quick so that you can read it. Do I hear a motion to go into executive session for 5 minutes? Resume at, 7:52 with, who would you like in here?
Everybody at the table is fine.
Okay,
Move.
moved by Randy,
Second.
second by Larry, all in favor, okay? Yeah, I know, I'm like, I don't know what you're waiting for. They're not gonna sign themselves.
Do we wanna discuss the dog rates during my report or while
We're
Lauren's
out of
here?
executive, are you?
Oh, sorry, yeah.
We're out of executive session, our decisions were made. We might as well do the dog
Okay.
rates while Lauren is here.
Okay. Let me get it out of my pile. So you guys should have in your packet a paper that looks like this from the Republican Valley Vet Clinic. Just letting you guys know that, the vet clinic has raised their stray dog rates, so, normal business hours, boarding fee is $35. If it's after hours, it's gonna be $100. As you guys know, that expense is passed on to the dog owner before they can get their dog back. And then nothing's changed with any, vaccinations. They require rabies vaccination. So, just need to let you know that.
I have a question on this.
'Kay.
So the after hours fee, $1,000 day/night, that's just for that initial 24 hours?
No, if it's
per
at
night.
Saturday, Sunday,
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
but if it's,
perfect.
so the after
Sorry.
hours is if on a Wednesday night or on a Thursday morning at 2 a.m., it will just be,
35, that would be my question, I guess. boarding fee is $35, but after hours is $100. So if the dog is brought in Tuesday afternoon, it's $35, but if it's brought in Tuesday at 7 o'clock and somebody's called in after
Yep,
hours,
that's what
then
I-
it's $100.
I-
But it's $100 every day after that, but if they're brought in during daytime, it's $35 a day?
So what I,
I guess we need clarification.
We
right?
Yeah,
probably-
because my question would be is, I mean, I get that if they,
The initial getting called out.
the initial getting called out would be $100 for the first day, and I understand the after hours on the Saturday, Sunday, but so let's back it up and say it's a Tuesday. If they go out at 9 p.m. on a Tuesday, I would understand that it's $100 for that 24 hours from Tuesday to Wednesday. But then because the dog is there on Wednesday and Thursday and Friday, I would think that the 24-hour period from
Would be
$35 for Wednesday to Thursday, Thursday to Friday.
yes, I believe, so now that you're saying that, I do believe that to be correct.
Okay, can we get a clarification?
I can say with certainty that that's how it is because of how I've had to bill customers before.
Okay.
So if they get called in after hours, like if it's 7 o'clock at night,
Right.
they got, the on-call vet has to go up there.
Okay.
So it's gonna be $100. I do believe though on the weekends, it is $100, it's gonna be $100 a day because
They have to
they're
go
having to go
multiple
up
times.
there and take care of these animals.
Okay.
Okay, so I do believe that is correct by the way I've had to bill customers get their dogs out.
Okay. So the rate changes.
It was 25
And now
and
it's fif-
50. And
and-
so it was 25 for the boarding, and then it was 50 for after hours,
So it's gonna be 35 and okay.
and 100. So yes, I believe that is how it is. If I find out that is different, I will report back, but I'm
Right.
certain
I
that's
just
how it
because
is.
they're changing it, I want to make sure they're not changing. I guess the policy in addition to the rates.
No policy change, I believe a rate change.
Okay.
And,
Is it still billed through the city, or is it billed?
it's billed through us.
And they're supposed to come pay it prior to picking up the dog, which has caused some issues because then Jen's having to get called out at Saturday at 5 because the dog is old and is on medication and the vet clinic doesn't wanna keep it and it's not fair to the animal, and so it takes 2 hours of Jen's time and an hour of my time, and it's really become an ordeal with dogs.
Our, the procedure
And I don't know.
is not being followed.
I guess when we get to the ordinance and maybe we need to look at that and maybe the fines need to be increased to cover some of our expenses because it is taking quite a bit of time.
I think the fines need to be increased anyways.
Well, one
mean,
thing I would like to see as well enforced is any time we have a dog issue, there's never been a citation for no city tag, which it's a requirement of the ordinance to have a city tag. If we kind of enforce that, maybe we wouldn't have these that they pick up a dog and they don't know whose owner it is. If they had city tags on them, they would know exactly whose it is and we could get them back to them. So, something I would like to see possibly when we start seeing these citations is also a citation for no city tag. Just so maybe we can start.
I think when you guys recodify, so here's what I'm gonna say. Amanda's correct. I've had 2 incidences in the last 4 months where I have been called on a Saturday and it has taken up at least 2 hours of my time to get a dog taken care of. The first one, a few months ago, the dog was destructive up at the vet clinic. They needed to get that dog out. It was chewing up their door. The dog would not go in one of their crates. It was a dog, and then both times, and then about a month ago, I had the same thing. The dog was not destructive, but it was an old dog. They found out who the owner was. He called me. He called the vet clinic. I will admit I'm probably a little too compassionate sometimes, but it ended up that both dog owners needed tickets because it was multiple times of dog at large. So then I have to try to get the deputy to tell them we need a citation issued. I have to meet the people at the vet clinic to collect their money. So that, what you just said, when you guys recodify, now I will say I do not like being on call. Both times this has happened, it has literally,
Is there a way to streamline that?
no, because we have to collect the money at the city to, well, I shouldn't say no so quick. Our policy is the dog owner has to pay the city for these boarding fees before they can get their dog out of the vet clinic. And that's so we have a record of it, so then we know if it, because they get a warning the first time.
Well, and we don't wanna, we wanna collect our fee so it gets paid, because they get their dog and they're not gonna come back
And
and
so
pay
if
us.
someone like Jen's not there,
It took the burden off of the vet clinic too.
Yeah, the vet clinic will not handle boarding fees, that is our responsibility, that's why we require they come pay them prior to getting their dog out.
So moving forward, now I'm gonna tell you this. I'm the only one in the office, I guarantee, that will be willing to do after hours stuff, but I'm not always gonna be in town on a Saturday. The one that happened a few months ago, I was literally trying to get ready to leave to go out to eat. And so I said, I'll be back in a couple hours, we can deal with it. Then the owner, they couldn't get a hold of the owner. So
And
you
then trying to
know,
get the owner and Jen and the vet and the sheriff's
deputy.
deputy, 4 people to figure out a time that they can work to meet, and it's just, and you get why we have to, because you've got a dog that's tearing up the vet clinic, we can't lose that service because we have nothing, so, like, we have to somewhat be accommodating, but I don't know that we're recouping our expenses.
you know, this after hours fee that they have on here, when we recodify, we should not only have a vet clinic fee that the person, whether it's a warning or a ticket, there should be a city fee for someone having to go out after hours. But we've gotta streamline this, I don't know what we're gonna do,
Has
guys,
to.
cause I'm not always gonna be in town on the weekend. I'm getting paid for it, I'm clocking
Shouldn't
in
have
when
to
I
be
do this,
responsible, yeah.
Well, that's what I'm thinking.
but
And then,
it's,
God forbid you go on vacation.
yeah, well, the dog would just have to sit there over the weekend. I mean, so it's a discussion that we need to think about and have, and really recodification time, adding an extra after-hour city fee as well would
Who
be.
has animals? Did you have animals?
I'm sorry,
Did you have animals? Who had animals? Who had that chapter?
I just got cats.
No, but no, the city
It's-
ordinance, who had that
Oh,
chapter?
no,
I don't
That's
remember.
probably me.
did I?
Who had chapter 2?
Oh, I
I
don't,
don't remember what
I
chapter.
don't remember what chapters, I read them quite a while ago.
I can tell you, give me a
I
minute.
don't think maybe it might
I,
have.
I think
So I'll get yours back so you can go through that and maybe you
Mine
can
back,
make
'cause
notes on there.
that's been 4 months ago.
And I have to say, I think that it needs to be.
I think we need to address it, and I think we need to,
I think we need to up the fees, and I think we need to up the fees by a significant amount because it's the same people over and over again.
well, and that's where I think if we try to get the sheriff's department to issue tickets for not having the city tags, at least if they start getting city tags, then it's a simple matter of, we've got city tag whatever, Jen, and look it up and know
So
where
help
the
me
dog
understand
goes.
this, so,
Or they can have a list of the dogs maybe, as you get, can we keep them in a spreadsheet, and then that way, as people are getting them,
Yeah, we can
just
do
email it over
something.
to the sheriff's department, and then they have it, they can look it up in their records. We picked up tag 15. Oh, it's Amanda Melney, we'll go take her,
right.
get a hold of her to let her know her
And
dog.
they can,
What's the
they
difference
can chip the
between what the
dogs.
vet clinic's doing
$45
now
to chip
and a
them.
pound?
They are our pound, because our pound,
So
I mean, the city
basically,
ordinance
that's
says
what
you
it
have
is.
to
they
keep
are,
the tag.
they have been,
That's what
Judy
I'm
has
saying.
been, when we approached her about this, she was very gracious to offer to be our pound, and so
Yeah.
when Amanda says we don't wanna lose this service, we don't,
And
so
actually, the chip would
when the
be
dog is chewing up a room,
better than the
we need to
tag.
figure
It is.
something out, but I'm not always
It's
gonna be
not
in
get
town.
lost.
I have several in my backyard.
And here's the thing,
Yeah,
here's
Yeah,
the other
dogs
issue,
catch 'em and they come
the
off.
sheriff's department
they don't
does
normally
not have any, and I certainly, we should talk to Cody about this, so when I tell you this, I may not have all my facts, and so I'm gonna say that first, in case I am in fact wrong, and I could be. When it's a city ticket, they're just writing tickets, they have paper copies. The only reason these past 2 cases, that I knew they were gonna need a ticket is because I just happened to remember it. That's not really a great system either, guys. We gotta figure something out on these dogs because,
Let's say, let me just run down this road for a second. So let's say you're on vacation, you're not here, the dog just has sit there for 2 days.
Mhm.
Where do they house the dog?
they have in their vet clinic, they've got
They
those,
They have the
in a
kennels
cage?
outside,
Yeah.
yeah.
Cages
Yeah.
and
They
stuff.
have a nice,
Why don't they just take it straight to that instead of putting it in the room, the room could be tore up?
They do, well, so the deputies drop them off and then they have to let the vet know, but if the weather's inclement, then they
Oh.
have to keep them inside.
the destructive dog would not go in a crate up there.
they don't have crates on the inside, what you're saying?
Yes, they do.
The dog wouldn't go in it.
The dog would not go in the,
Well,
they have
You
areas,
make the dog go in.
I,
I'll let them call you next time they have a dog for you.
Don't they
Yeah.
have muzzles?
That's what
I don't know.
I don't know if the dog had some health issues or could it, or just would not go in a crate. Listen,
I know my dog, if it was picked up, you wouldn't be able to get it in that pen.
yeah.
He would just be,
Because you also have to remember, these dogs are being picked up by somebody they don't know. They're being hauled to the vet clinic. They're not even around their owner. And then you know what I'm saying? But here's the thing. I just happen to remember these people have had tickets before. I'm not even the municipal court clerk, guys. The only reason I know this stuff is because sometimes I take money. I've actually had to write the warnings. I even think we need to get a better system on warnings. I'm not even sure that City Hall should be issuing warnings. We gotta, it doesn't happen a lot, but when it happens, it's always on a Saturday, and it's always someone who also needs to get a citation, and it takes 2 hours out of my day on a Saturday, and I don't get on-call pay.
Okay.
So you guys needed to be aware that this has been happening, and our system is not working,
Why is
Well-
there a warning?
because that's how we set it up.
I know, but
I don't know, why is there?
I mean, they don't get a. If you run a stop sign, you don't get a warn.
Sure you do.
no,
Well,
you do. Yeah,
you shouldn't.
I'm sure they
I
give
mean,
you
keep your dog
warnings.
keep your dog in your yard.
I don't,
Easier said than done sometimes.
but some things
you
happen,
think-
that sneak, you know, it darts out the door, the gate doesn't get latched, things happen.
There'll come a
You have to
Eagles
give,
fan.
yeah.
Now-
Don't you think a lot of
Everyone
the
needs a
issue
warning.
is the follow-up the second time? Are we not, like, if they get out a second time, are we not getting citations issued at that point?
Oh yeah, they've been better about getting citations.
Okay.
My deal is, we gotta have a better, between us and the sheriff's department, we gotta have a better bookkeeping system, so on a Saturday, a deputy can go look it up and go, Jen Blair's dog was out for the third time, here's my first two, she needs a
Jen's calling
ticket.
me, the deputy's calling Cody, we've got everybody calling everybody, cause we don't know what's going on. It's just, we need to figure out a better system, and I think if we try to enforce the tags a little bit better and have a spreadsheet to where they have access, we have access, that can be looked up as to whose dogs they are.
And I will say the deputies, if they recognize a dog, they will
They're
get it
pretty
back
good,
to the
yeah.
owner,
They
it doesn't,
work with people, it's
yeah,
it's
and,
the habitual ones that
mhm.
end up with
The
tickets.
ones that just open the door and say, go and come back when you're done.
Mhm.
It don't work so well.
And that's Murphy's Law usually prevails and those sort of things, is usually at the worst possible time.
Mhm.
I mean, it can't be at Thursday on 3 o'clock when I'm already at work. It's gotta be on Saturday at 11 o'clock when I'm trying to get ready to go out to eat.
And then they can't meet you till 5 or 6 o'clock that evening, and you got, then call
Is
the
there-
deputy back to see if they can work, and then call the,
Is there not somebody else
back.
you can dedicate that to go do it?
Listen, Bud, I would
I'm
love to
just
tell you, no, I
asking.
know, and so I'm gonna be kind of funny when I say this. I don't even wanna be doing it. City Hall, we're not hired to be on call. We don't get on-call pay. This dog thing has become,
I know, but I'm just.
I understand what you're saying, but I don't,
So if you're out of town or something, or somebody that, you know,
I think unless y'all guys make a policy, I think we're gonna be pretty hard pressed to, listen, I've been at the city 20 years and I'm a dog owner, I have maybe a little bit more sympathy. And I'm around, if you wanted to do something like that, you're gonna have to put us on an on-call schedule. You're gonna have to pay us $40 a week. And I'm not sure it's worth it that either, cause it doesn't happen a lot. So, unfortunately, I think we're in a little bit of a weird predicament with the dog thing right now.
Maybe
Just-
that's something that should move to the county.
well, that's what I was just, in this, if we had a set
Instead of the
amount
city
that it
having
was, and
their
if we
dogs.
have a system to where they know, Jen Blair has had 2 offenses, 2 tickets already, they pick up Jen Blair's dog a third time, they should be able to sit there and say, we need to issue this ticket, these are the boarding fees.
Seems
They
like
can
a
issue
job
the ticket,
for-
maybe get the
Seems
payment
like
for the
office.
city,
For what?
the deputy can, without having to coordinate 4 people, you know what I mean? Maybe that's a conversation to have with Cody. If we have a fine schedule, we have a pay rate that they can say, okay, for you to pick up your dog, it's going to be X amount.
mhm.
and collect that fee than to have to, we'll just have to visit with Cody and see.
Yeah, and something to, you know, we will need to talk to him because it would be his deputies handling money. Another thing while you're speaking of this maybe it's something that we could talk to the vet clinic about handling money. I mean,
Cause they didn't want to be in charge of, I get it, the billing and then have to get
Right.
payment. And if it's something that they have the money there that the vet clinic could take and you could pick it up Monday morning,
But
you
you're
know?
also gonna put the vet clinic in the position that, hey, I'm not releasing your dog until you pay us.
Sounds like we need
Which
a
is-
doggy bail bond.
Yes. Are you signing up for the job?
Hey, that's gonna be good. We make it right there.
and I hope you guys know, I mean, I'm not trying to sound like a defiant employee, but it's,
You got a point, though.
I do, I really do, you know, when people on the crew are hired, they know that every so many weeks they're on call. I'm not sure that for dogs, y'all wanna pay city halls 40
You might
bucks
go
a
6
week.
months. You
You-
might go a year,
Uh-huh.
you know, you're not really
That's the thing,
on, the crew on call is on call, you know. They do
exactly.
things on the weekends because they're the on-call person.
Mm-hmm,
They're expected to answer emergency phone calls, so.
And it's,
Anyways, I think it's food to, we'll talk with Cody and maybe the vet clinic and see if there's a way that we could streamline.
How often is this happening? 3-4
Um,
times a year?
it happened at the beginning of November and then it just happened again about a month ago. And then we got this rate increase, and I think this rate increase happened because they realized they were only charging, and I'm speculating on this. They were charging us a $50 after-hour fee, but, I mean, they may have increased their rates at the vet clinic too, so maybe that's where this $100, and it's
And they
fair.
probably, I mean,
It's a
first
fair,
of the year, raise your rates.
Yep.
You know, it is fair for what,
mhm,
you figure on a Saturday, if they've got a dog up there, they've gotta go up 3-4 times, you know, they've gotta go up, let it out, they gotta feed it, they gotta, you know.
Which is why when Lauren said a while ago, I think we're all in agreement, that when the recodification comes, we need to raise ours as well.
Yeah.
And I
There
think
needs to be a city
and I
fee.
think there also needs to be an after-hours fee,
Yeah,
like an
I-
after-hours city fee also.
yeah.
I get, if I may, I mean, I know it's not generally in their job description, but if there's a city employee on call, I know they're not in the office. But if there's somebody on call, that the person who's on call could meet the person there, get a check for the amount of the city, drop it on Jen's desk. I mean, they're already on call. They already know that they might get called in this weekend. Is there any reason? I mean, they wouldn't be responsible for the bookkeeping or anything, but going up there, meeting them, getting a check for that amount, and just setting it on Jen's desk for the morning with a copy of the bill
Put it
from
in
the.
Dropbox, I mean,
Right.
have a Dropbox out there.
Right, I mean, get a copy of the invoice from the vet and the bill and just put it in the Dropbox.
So another would get an invoice from the vet.
we don't, I think in all fairness, we need to include Dan in that discussion because
Right, which is why I'm asking, I mean,
exactly, you know, I don't know how he would feel about his guys handling money. And I will tell you what happened the last time. The guy didn't have the right money, so then I had to come back down here and then let him in to make change. So it's a little bit more complicated because not everybody has checks now.
We
Um,
can't
and
take a square. Not like the on-call guy's walking around with a square on his phone that he
Right.
can scan it.
The only thing I can think of is there are several ATMs in town, so they can go get money.
right, but if they don't, I mean, you
I
can
think
only
we
get
could-
like 20s, and if the last time it was like 218 or something, so then I had to come back down here so I could get him changed. I don't mind helping the public out, guys, but
Maybe the dog could just have to be in holding till,
But if the
bring
vet,
her up until.
if the vet clinic says it can't stay, we have to do
Mhm.
something.
No problem.
We can't force them to keep it when it's destroying their office. I
Mhm.
mean,
Well, what happens if you can't get a hold of her?
of the owner,
yeah,
yeah,
and we would have been in a different predicament if we didn't know who the owner
What
was.
happens if the owner decides they don't want it?
We've had that happen. We had to
Mhm.
adopt a dog out, don't you
Mhm.
remember? Don't you-
You know,
That wasn't,
that was actually a whole other, that wasn't even a dog at large, I think that was maybe a vicious call.
Guarantee you that's
it was
not
a
the
vicious, but
ordinance
didn't we have
anywhere.
another one that we?
there was a
No.
vicious one and then there was a
There
was a
neglect and it
there's
was.
The neglect, I was thinking
Yeah,
of the
there was,
neglect
there
one.
was a vicious one,
And then
there was two
neglect
vicious ones and that ended up getting transferred out and then there was a
Okay.
neglect one,
that we had to put up for adoption,
right.
because we had to pay the boarding fee the whole
Let's talk about it March second.
Yep,
Yeah.
let's do it. Okay,
Okay,
anything else on your attorney report?
Not that I know of. Oh, Lila had a question for me today. If I am not at a meeting and I need to do something, if I'm not at a meeting, am I supposed to reach out to somebody, or is somebody going to email me, or what is, I guess, just because, so for the deeds for, I guess, today, which I guess is tomorrow.
And I feel like maybe once we get a city, cause you know, usually the city clerk would
Right,
either
right.
Lila, you know, or.
Yeah.
Do you want me to reach out, or are you gonna reach out, or once we have that city clerk?
Right.
I think
Okay.
we're
So
working,
until we have an official city clerk and they're trained and everything, I will just, if for any reason I'm not at a meeting,
I'll try to do better to.
I'll
let
shoot an
you
email and just say, is there anything I need to have ready for the next meeting?
Yeah.
I probably should have said something to her after the last meeting with the deed
Well.
too.
I mean, and I probably also should have reached out. I was just dying.
Yeah, no,
It was,
we will try to do better to,
and
hey, we decided this, Lauren's gonna have to read our minds that we want her to do something.
I mean, it was like, what's going on with the deed? I was like, what deed?
Where are you at on this deed?
Huh? So, yeah,
Yeah.
okay, so until then, I'll just, I mean, and if I don't hear anything, I'll just reach out and just say, hey, do I need to do anything? I'll just shoot an email.
Yep.
Now I have nothing.
Okay, do I hear a motion to accept and file the attorney report?
Move.
Moved by Justin, second by Bud, all in favor? All right, Dan.
Am I
you're up.
needed for anything
Nope,
else this
you may
evening?
go.
Thank you.
Sorry, Wilma, I should have moved you up sooner.
It's okay.
We're moving right along. Yeah, we were. Pick it back up.
Sorry.
So we need to, I talked about this last week, we need to unencumber money for the street sweeper repairs. And we know that's $12,500 out of general/streets.
I don't wanna move that, we do.
Moved by Bud,
Second.
second by Larry, all in favor?
And I don't
Vote
think
on
we-
that already?
Huh?
Did we already do that?
No, we talked about last meeting, then we couldn't
talked
remember
about
the
it, but
cost,
it didn't get any farther.
so
That's gonna fix it,
it's fixed, I think. So,
so we'll be up and down East Street,
no promises, when.
it's been pretty bad up there.
Yeah,
did you say 12,500?
Mm.
Thank you.
12,500, yeah,
Thank you.
out of general/streets.
The new part was like $800 or maybe a little less than whatever he charges for the next bid. I haven't seen that bill yet.
We paid it today.
Oh, we did?
Yeah.
I didn't sign it, so I didn't see it.
You can sign
Payment
it
to who?
tonight.
Dennis,
Dennis?
Yeah, it was in there. Dr. Ed.
oh, I got some. So whatever
I
that.
thought I
bill
saw
was.
it in there. Yeah, they're all signed. I'm pretty sure I saw it in there. And they're still in the right order.
Dr. J's 2009-45-95,
Got 29, 45, 95.
1,997 and 27 cents for the sweeper.
On the consulate,
$1,997.27.
Oh, one of them.
so the 1997 and 27, I would need a motion for.
Mayor, motion to approve the street sweeper repairs of $1,997.27.
So,
Moved by David. Second by Randy, all in favor?
That was a good compliment though. Okay. So we got part of the dirt hauled to the landfill, I got permits through KDHE. And then I looked at the dirt, so we got part of it hauled off, just got to finish all the rest off, so.
Good. Good.
And I don't think they're charging us for it. If they are, it's a lot less than the other part. compressor for the power plant, I don't know where we're at, I tried to call them today, see if they have it done from here. I couldn't get hold of anybody. If it happens to be done, I have to take my mom up Wednesday for a doctor's appointment, I'll just take that and get it. When delivered. So, it'll be on the list, so. I know we talked about the power plant here a while back, and I did kind of rough the figure today. So without the 9-cylinder, which I know we motioned to have that looked at one time, I didn't get it done. Without it, we're good for three and a half megawatt roughly. We're rated for 5 megawatt, just over 5 megawatt, if everything runs. So, that's taking everything to nameplate, which we don't normally do. So if you go less than nameplate, then you're looking at 3.5 is where we normally feel good running it.
So what does that do as far as covering the community?
Well,
Roughly.
I had something here, but, so we peaked at 4.5 last summer, last few
much?
summers, 4.5 megawatt.
4.5.
So I guess it's a matter, something to put in your guys' minds whether you want me to pursue the 9-cylinder, or we wanna start thinking different avenues of how to take care of it. And we can pursue the 9-cylinder, that'll take us up, well, like I said, 5 megawatt, but that's
Pushing.
maximum. I mean, that would be, if somebody turns something on, we're running 5 megawatt, we're in trouble. The 9-cylinder would be, if we do fix it, then I get to relearn how to run it, cause I have hardly ever ran that engine. So, but anyway, just something to think about, there's nothing needs to be done right now. I did get all the EIA and air emissions inventories done, I think. Hopefully we did them right, but I'll let you know if I get nasty green. Crack seal. So, one pallet does an average of 2 to 3 blocks is what they're saying. So, we really need to get them in here and have them do that in front of the high school, I think, all the way to North Street. It's bad in front of the high school, but then it kind of lessens as you go down, but it's still not good. For no older than that, I was trying to think how old that street was. I don't remember.
It's not very old.
No,
But it seems like it cracked an awful lot for. And
What's the
then,
trend?
and then some of the new streets that we just did 2 years ago, everywhere they poured a manhole, they're cracking from curb to curb, through the manhole.
So what do you think you need to cover all of that? I mean, other than just
You talk about all the way to North Street?
that plus anything else you could get done, that needs done.
I mean, we talked about doing 3 pallets last time, which would be 15,000. And then if we wanna do any of the mastic stuff, that would be extra on top of that. Cause you know where them wide cracks are, we talked about trying to put the mastic in,
And they do all that.
they would. But it's another 5,000 for the mastic, but it's less material for that price. 5,000 per pallet.
How much is it gonna take to do college, you think?
I'm hoping just a couple pallets we get college, but I don't know. I mean, if we do 15, we're good. If we do more, trust me, the problem isn't where we're gonna put it. The problem is how much do you wanna do.
Is there shelf life?
No, there isn't, but I can put it, so I can put it about, I can pick a street.
You can make use of it.
Yeah, I can pick a street and
we'll get it
Yeah.
used up.
I guess what I'm kinda thinking is if they're gonna be here, and there's anything we can do to
Do as much as
Well, but you hold us over and save some of these streets and extend the life a little bit. We're still working on a long-term project, but
Well, like, that's why I hate to leave the one in front of the high school, cause that's, I mean, that's a pretty new street.
Yeah, we need to get that one
If we
done.
start getting freeze thaw, it's gonna start busting out. But, so we have, well, we have 130, looks like in the 138.22 in special highway. So, and we have the budget authority for it to 162, so we got more budget authority than we have money. I don't know that you guys wanna deplete all that, but I'd say, you know, if we wanna do 15,000, we can do 15, if we wanna do 20, we can do 20 and see what, he's game for anything, so whatever.
So do the 20 with the mastic,
20 plus the mastic?
with the mastic.
Yeah, I'm just curious how much that's actually gonna tackle.
Well, I just don't know, I don't know how far that mastic will go. I've never even seen this stuff, I guess.
And what all's the mastic used on?
Really wide crack.
Strictly asphalt?
Mm-hmm. Most all that stuff's gonna be, unless you just seal them like Brock did over here, and you get the little lines, most all that's gonna be used for.
I'm kinda like you, Larry, I'd rather just be proactive.
Well, if we're thinking at least 2 pallets to do that up there, I mean,
Get 4 ballots.
4 or 5, I mean, have him do as much as we can.
Yeah, 'cause there's some good cracks around, besides on College.
Yeah.
Well, if all our new stuff's starting to crack out.
Well, as I say, we hit all the new stuff, that's
Yeah,
every
get all the new
half block.
stuff first
Right.
to preserve it and then
There's
hit
some on
whatever we
River Street.
have after.
And if there's extra left over after they fill everything that we're not gonna be tearing up right away, they can set for the next year.
I mean, crack, this would just be cracked, so this isn't chip.
And that'll be done this spring?
The chip we would do later, if we approve to do that later.
Need the mastic and everything in before chip.
I'm just trying to think what other streets were bad enough that would really pay to pat us like that.
Places on Benton, a couple places on Quincy down by the hospital.
Where it's
River
actually
Street
cracking out.
looks pretty good.
Well, that street in front of the hospital, it has pretty good cracks, too.
Yeah.
I mean, they're wide.
Right down on the first street from River, 1 block west it's almost as bad as Frontage Road, not quite, but it's getting close.
You're talking about the one that goes to the power plant?
Yeah, that's on our list of,
Is that on one to redo?
yeah, First Street down to the power plant and then the Angle Road down to Main Street.
Yeah.
Priority wise,
So
though,
we wouldn't put mastic on those or
Mm-mm.
save that, cause they're
I'd
gonna.
probably
get
look
rid
at
of
that
them.
in front of the hospital, because that's pretty, or was a good street.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't think it's real old.
no.
What did you say? 4 plus or 20,000?
4,000.
And that's with
That'd
mastic.
take you a long ways. If we had work for them to do, they'd take care of
I mean,
it.
that'd be 3 pallets of the regular stuff, if we do 15, and then whatever on the mastic.
So that's 20,000, so get,
Is that enough on the mastic?
I
No idea.
don't know. Like I said, I don't know how far that'll go.
that'll get you a good start.
Be a good start, yeah.
is that a motion, Justin?
I move, yes.
Moved by
20,000.
Justin to
Second.
20,000 out of the special highway,
Yeah.
and second by David, all in favor?
Which is the next street that's supposed to be totally redone?
That's what we're.
That's what we're trying to nail down.
Cause you've got that paperwork that we had the priorities of how bad, it's just a matter of how much money, how much can we,
I've just heard from 3 people, but on one street,
Which street?
that street that looks at the house he lives on.
told you
Yeah.
that before.
Oh, yeah.
That's
He
200
wanted to
that's
talk to
200.
me about it.
250,000 for that one block.
How much?
Are you serious?
Mhm.
250. for
If
that
we,
one
if
block.
we got it, yeah.
Yeah. 200, yeah.
Cause it's
Yeah,
this
Could
wide.
be something,
yeah, it's that wide and
yeah,
going
I know.
thicker because of the buses. We
Yeah.
have to go thicker because of buses, so, yeah, that eats up a huge chunk on that one block. So, it's on our, it's for sure on our higher on the priority list, it's just a matter of,
It's one of them streets too, that I don't think you could even, you might be able to repair part of it, but not all of it, not even close.
I don't,
I think you just need to start from ground zero and shoot.
Yeah, it's been out for a long time, I just don't know. I said we gotta sit down and start figuring that out, what we're gonna do. Depends how many bonds you want, if you wanna go for bonds again. So, otherwise it's just a matter of time and money.
yeah.
Okay, so February 11th, which I believe is Wednesday, now that I have to be gone, I didn't do it. I didn't sign up for it, but DJ's gonna go to a water conference, or not a water conference, a water training in Overland. No cost to us, so just basically get him there and meal and get him back. You guys are good with that?
Very good.
Yeah.
Okay, March 11th, they're having a training at Sharon Springs for emergency response planning, no cost to us, just getting some guys there. If you guys are good, I'll send somebody, I'll try to go. March 24th through the 26th is water conference. We can take 2 or 3 people if we can.
Who would you take?
Well, right now I've got 2 plus myself that are certified, so,
Is this a research?
it's part of our continuing
Education.
education. It's one of the places to get it, but we could also take somebody down and have them take the test too, cause I'm gonna try to take my, if you guys are good with that, I'm gonna try to take my sewer test again, see if I can pass it this time. If not, I'll just give up. But that would be a cost as usual
Yeah.
in March for the water conference. And like I said, I'll retake my wastewater test, so I'll just, if you guys are good, I'll just go ahead and sign up for it.
Yeah, everybody go with that?
Yeah.
And then we'll see, I've been trying to figure out who else to take. Cause I thought about DJ and Jared, but then we're gonna figure out trash truck. Normally us 3 are the ones running trash truck, and one of the others is gone, so. Anyway. And then April 22nd through 24th, if I could take 2 or 3 people, we go to KMU. Which is normal again. And then, we pass this around, I'm not gonna try to, maybe somebody else for you, but that's AT&T's doing an upgrade, and we'll upgrade on the water tower. They're asking about permitting and stuff like that. Or if you just don't want them on there, I'll tell them that, we can see what they say, but,
Did they pay us?
yeah, I think so.
Yeah, they pay us rent each month.
Okay. And they're up to date on their,
So I
They
think
are.
would have to-
okay.
If we get painted or something, they're gonna have to cover their stuff. You know, 'cause I gotta find somebody to change the light bulb, if there's some that I am not cleaning the tower anymore.
Maybe that's a
Fair
trade-off.
enough.
You can get on our tower if you
Yeah,
change.
if you change your light bulb, we'll let you go change your equipment up there. I like that.
Might be tired of getting up there.
You gotta, I'm already there, I don't want to find it anymore. My body's not as good as it used to be. I think we're gonna be putting a little, meter reading thing up out here on this tower eventually. I need to get it done, I just have, with all the other stuff I've been doing, I haven't been able to get to it.
Is the bucket truck reach high enough so you don't have to climb?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, our one bucket will go 60 foot, so. Larry can go help me.
No.
didn't get any information on the bucket trucks, so I know we talked briefly about it last time. I think we're gonna have a hard time, I know one of you guys asked about getting a 3-year-old bucket truck, I think we're gonna have a hard time finding a 3-year-old bucket truck. I just don't think people are trading them off that quick.
Weren't those ones you looked at, weren't they 19s?
I
Thought so.
I think they're 19s. They're 19s.
yeah, some of them were, okay. You want it?
No, I've got it somewhere.
See, Johnson Sewer called me and said they were in town, was asking about getting that done, but I think we're gonna plan it for next year, cause we didn't budget for it this year. So, I think we did talk about budgeting next year for it,
Testing.
they'll come clean the lines
When was the last time we had that done?
3 years ago.
3 years ago.
When I first took over, we did the whole town. We just happened to have the money in the funds, we did it all. So. 3 years ago.
Probably.
I already told you I'll be gone Thursday and Friday. Other than that, I need 5 minutes executive session to discuss employment and application.
You want that now or at the end of the
We
meeting?
got it in
Yeah,
there.
we'll do it at the end of the meeting, yeah. Stace it. Stace it.
Patch, talk about the bank, between
The banks.
the bank and F&B, right there.
Oh, on that hole that's,
Yeah.
yeah,
If
I
nobody's
drive
parked there,
around
you
it.
can swing out wide and.
You have to swing out real wide right there.
Then put that on the list to redo.
Concrete patch.
Yeah. Well, just, I don't care what it is, just patch it, and then put it on our list to replace it. At least it'll hold up for that one.
There's a
That's
couple on Spencer Street in the concrete that could be, when we're looking at patching concrete, yeah.
So we need to get some stuff together for Brock anyway,
Yeah.
to keep him going.
Were you talking about the, about Western? Is that what you're talking about?
In between
No,
the two
well,
banks,
Oh, okay.
yeah, right there on Quincy,
Yeah, 'cause that one's, I hit that all the time.
not if you swing wide.
Even when you swing, you're fine until it's during business
I
hours and
know,
there's a
then you-
vehicle right there.
You can't
and
swing,
it's-
since there's nobody parked there, you can swing wide. Yeah, we'll have to start getting some thoughts together on,
Quickly,
Concrete for-
because he'll probably want
yeah.
that stuff at least by April. Try to get on his schedule.
Yeah.
I think that's all I got.
Any questions for Dan? If not, is there a motion to approve the superintendent report?
Move.
Moved by Justin,
Second.
second by Randy, all in favor. Treasurer report.
On the Aflac dental plan that we talked about last time, our agent did in fact confirm that we needed to pick one plan. However, we sent a text out to the crew that if they were interested to come in and look at it, and then they could choose which plan they want, and we got 0 interest on the Aflac plan, so I do not believe there's any need to offer dental through Aflac.
Took care of itself.
So, I don't know if you guys need to rescind the motion. Probably not, since if we're not gonna offer it, we probably need a motion to not offer it. When you weren't here last time, they motioned to offer all 3 plans. We have no interest. We would have to pick one even if you did wanna offer it. We have no interest, so I'm not sure, do we need to motion to not offer the dental or just rescind the initial motion? What are you thinking?
I mean, they made a motion to offer all 3. We've now found out that we have to pick one. There's no interest,
No
so I
interest.
don't know that we need to do anything.
Do we
I
need to
don't
do
think we
anything?
need to take any action, no.
Okay, I just wasn't sure. I just wanted to make sure to cover it. So tomorrow morning I will send, our agent just an email saying that we don't wanna offer Aflac or any dental plan this year. Of course, we can revisit it next year.
I know this. particular agent, he's something else to deal with.
You guys should have the Blue Cross and Blue Shield renewal. Greg was here last week and bought this stuff. We did see a 26% increase this year. As you know from in the past, there's a few factors that affect group health plans. Our group is getting older. I believe our utilization is staying down, but then even though this is our group, we are in a pool of several other groups, and so that can also affect our rate. But if you'll remember last year at renewal time, we saw a 14% decrease. So this year we see a 26% increase. None of the coverages are going to change, obviously, because we have the grandfathered plan. Even if we hire some of the full-time employees that we're talking about and they go on a family plan, we're still under budget for this year. Lila ran some numbers. So if you're good with renewing for another year with Blue Cross, we'll just need a motion for that.
So moved.
Moved by Justin, second by David, all in favor?
Let's see, we already talked about the dog at large stuff. At the end of March, there is the Municipal Court Clerk Conference. Wyatt would like to attend that. I believe it's 3 days. The first day, I do believe they have, I think the first day is dedicated to new municipal court clerks. He's willing to go. I do believe it would be beneficial for him. So we just need to get permission for him to go to that.
Everybody okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay, and then the only other thing I have that I did not get in the packet, and I don't even have anything to hand out really, we haven't ordered t-shirts for probably 3 years. You know, every 2 or 3 years we've been ordering the t-shirts for the crew. We usually get a 10-day supply, so that's 2 weeks for them. We haven't done that for quite some time. With our current employees, if everybody got 10 shirts, if I did my estimate right, it's going to be around $1,300. That doesn't include shipping, but it's under the $1,500. So mostly I'm just asking for permission to go ahead and order uniform shirts since we haven't done it for a while.
Everybody okay with that?
Okay. I'm just gonna go ahead and talk about the two things that are under the clerk report too, under my treasurer report. And it's really nothing to discuss. Lila included a couple of things that she found, just some flyers and stuff you'll see. There's a City Leaders Academy in Salina on April 17th you can look at. I believe on the shared, I don't know that it'll be in your packet, I believe on the shared you'll see the Friday options menu or memo. And then she did include a grant summary that Jessica brought over for different grants that we've got, I believe, from the foundation. Just something for you guys to review, no discussion, just it's a summary of everything that we've got. And I think that's all I have, actually.
Any questions for Jim? Is there a motion to accept the treasurer/clerk report?
I'll move.
Moved by Justin, second by Larry, all in favor? Council comments, Bud?
Well, I did talk to Chris about how we had talked about some air packs for the fire department for the city. I did talk to her about that. I guess the county's got a block grant going for fire equipment,
Okay.
but that there is some grants that are available, and she's gonna work on getting city, some stuff for the city. So she'll get back to me as soon as she finds out more about that. And, the video of the road work, or the bike terminal, frontage road.
Mhm.
I got a copy of it through the Capitol this morning in Topeka. And got it, and I know it's been sent to them, it was personally delivered to a couple of them today. So just a little more push. Yeah. And I guess the way I understand it, Chris will be going to Topeka next week, and we'll also be talking to them. And yes, I am working on the sound, and I'll get it in here this week and see if it'll work.
Sounds good. David? Larry? Where are we at? Keller's Pond, do you have an update on the bridge?
I haven't heard any more from Brock, have you, Dan? I'll call him next.
Okay. Randy?
Don't have anything. Speaking of Kills Pond, might get to Cody, there's been people, maybe a bunch of, figure eights over here, cat's ass, all over the place.
At the Keller's Pond or
Keller's
Riverwalk?
Pond, yeah.
Keller's Pond? Okay,
Pretty good bucks,
okay. We can mention something to him.
that's all I got.
I guess Dan's got executive session, then we probably need to go back into executive session for continue our discussion, so we said 5 minutes? Is there a motion, what'd you say? Personnel?
Yeah. Normally personal, review application.
Okay, there, motion to go into executive session for 5 minutes to resume at, what is it, 8:52, please, yeah.
Move.
Moved by Justin, everybody in the room, except for, everybody at the table, okay, everybody at the table.
Okay, who seconded that?
Randy?
Okay, thank you.
I know. No decisions were made, do we have a motion to go back in for 5 minutes?
So moved.
Moved by Larry,
Second.
second by Randy, all in favor.
Turn it off to,
Okay,
We're out of executive session, do I hear a motion to go back in for 7 minutes to resume at 9:10?
so moved.
Moved by Larry,
Second.
second by Randy, all in favor. Okay. We're out of executive session, the decisions were made. Do we need to make a motion to off, I think we have to make a motion to offer the job to the person at the discussed wage, right? Is that how we did that?
I think so. Maybe, yeah, something like that.
Do
Mm-hmm.
I hear a motion?
I'll move.
Moved by Justin, second by Randy, all in favor. Okay. Much more time.
4.
What we started, the special meeting,
Oh,
how much time do you guys?
what do you think, 10 minutes, guys?
Probably most, 5.
5? 5.
Let's just do 5 minutes of executive session for non-elected personnel. Job application
Job
review, just council and mayor, to resume at 9:15,
9:17.
9:17.
Am I reading that right?
Did you move?
I'll move.
Moved by Larry, second by Randy, all in favor.
9:17, you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're out of executive session, no decisions were made, we'll wait until Larry gets back.
This is when you need some music to go,
We
waiting.
need
Oh,
crickets.
it's ready.
I got 'em, hang on, I gotta find them. It's been a while, we haven't had them for a while.
Who used to do that?
Dale, well, it was JR.
Oh, yeah.
JR started it, and then I have not done it.
That's smoke alarm.
So for those of you that, and then I can't even get my app to shut off.
What was that? The crickets? Crickets?
Alright, Larry's back.
That had to go on record.
Yeah. Do I hear a motion
I'll make a motion. That we give her,
that we hired the applicant at the,
Yes.
For city clerk.
for city clerk at the, discussed rate? That's been moved by David,
Seconded.
second by Randy, all in favor.
Aye.
No other oh, we gotta review the bills, don't we?
Bills.
Yeah, I almost forgot.
What was the rate?
Does anybody have any questions on the bills? Oh, we probably need to, yeah.
You have a copy of this?
I've got a copy of it.
I just moved that stuff.
Yeah.
Some of that, yeah.
Right there. I think there's extra.
Shares.
It's
Do you need this back? Oh,
You guys have
they didn't,
copies?
are they supposed to motion?
You have
I mean, it
copies
needs a
of those?
signature.
yes.
Okay.
Well, you do that.
So did they need to motion
Can I
to,
have that?
allow the change out of existing hardware or whatever? Hey Amanda, when you guys get done with that, on this tower stuff, I think we better, this is gonna require a signature, we probably need a motion to,
Yeah, I thought of that, and
She's making the whole,
yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
signing it.
hey, same motion.
There's that.
Thank you. I'm gonna go make a copy of this while you guys are reviewing those quick, so we have a copy for here.
You wanna copy after I sign it, or you
That might be better, yeah.
wanna pass it down?
You wanna hand it to Amanda when you go back? Thank you.
I need to skip back real quick on that, from AT&T on the tower, we need a motion to approve that, there's no,
I'll make a motion.
moved by Bud, second by David, all in favor? Any questions on the bills on ordinance 1107?
I'll move to approve the bills on ordinance 1107.
Moved by Larry, second by Justin, all in favor?
Did I get the ordinance right?
You did 1107. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Move.